In the beginning, God created heaven and the earth. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Simple enough, isn't it? And yet hidden inside this brief statement lies the blueprint of the entire universe. Today we begin our verse-by-verse journey through scripture with what I'm calling the Great Discovery. And we start with just one verse. Let's slow down. Notice the words. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Every word matters. Scripture sheepdogs remind us not to rush the text, but to observe it like investigators. So before we go any further, pause and think. If this verse contains the foundation of reality, what principles of science are hidden inside these words? Pause a moment before we move ahead. The phrase, in the beginning, immediately tells us something profound. There was a starting point, not an endless loop, not eternal matter, not random chaos without origin. A beginning, past, present, future, sequence, order, movement. In other words, time. When the Bible opens, it does not open with matter. It opens with time. In the beginning, time had a birth. Modern physics tells us that time is woven into the fabric of the universe. They call it space-time. Scientists estimate that around 13.8 billion years ago, something like a cosmic expansion occurred. The event commonly called the Big Bang, where energy, matter, and the measurable structure of the universe came into existence. But what matters most is this. Even modern science agrees that the universe had a beginning. Scripture said it first. In the beginning. The Bible reveals two dimensions of time. The Greek word chronos refers to measured sequential time, seconds, minutes, years. It is the quantity of time. Then there is Kairos. Kairos is different. It refers to the appointed moment, the decisive, divinely orchestrated time when God acts. Chronos is a steady flow. Kairos is the intersection. Chronos is the river. Kairos is the bridge crossing that river. Even Kairos' moment happens within Chronos, but it carries eternal weight. Galatians 4:4 says, But when the fullness of the time was come, God sent forth his Son. That is Kairos. Mark 1:15 says, The time is fulfilled. Again, fulfillment, a divinely appointed moment inside history. God does not rush. God does not panic. He authors both the river and the bridge. Psalm 90 verse 4 says, For 1,000 years in thy sight are but as yesterday. 2 Peter 3:8 echoes it. God is not confined inside Chronos. Time exists because he spoke it into existence. And yet Romans 5:6 tells us that Christ came in due time. Kairos entered Chronos. The eternal stepped into the timeline. Colossians 1:17 says, And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. He is before time, he sustains time, he governs time. The Hebrew word for beginning, reshith, means not only first in order, but first in importance. Genesis 1:1 is not just the start of the Bible. It is the foundation of reality. Science observes the time moves in one direction. Entropy increases. Disorder grows. We cannot reverse the era of time. Relativity shows that time can stretch depending on gravity and speed, yet it still moves forward. Astronomers look into space and say they are looking backwards in time because of light travel. Even our bodies function in cycles, circadian rhythms tied to the 24-hour day. Everything in creation is locked in time, but time itself had a beginning. Before there was matter, before there were stars, before there was light, there was God. Genesis does not argue for his existence. It assumes it. In the beginning, God. He is not introduced, he is declared, and everything else flows from him. If God authored time, then he is not late in your life. If he governs Chronos, then your waiting seasons are not accidents. If Kairos moments exist, then divine appointments still happen. God moves with intention. The same God who began history is governing your present moment. Genesis 1:1 is more than a statement about creation. It is a declaration of authority. Time had a birth. Creation had a cause. History has an author. And we have only just begun. Next time, we'll look further into Genesis. Until then, slow down, observe the text, and remember, in the beginning, God.